This is Khanada, and he is one of the most consistent Fortnite players of all time. Khanada is talented.
Oh my god!
Confident.
1v1 me,
And sometimes just plain toxic.
Dennis! Sit the down!
However, things weren't always like this. Today, I'm going to talk about Khanada's journey to the top of competitive Fortnite. Leon Khanada Kim was born on October 14, 2004 in New York. Growing up, he played Minecraft and Overwatch on his father's laptop. He even played CSGO on his teacher's computer in school. But this would just be the start, because he was soon introduced to Fortnite by one of his friends while playing Overwatch. This is when things got interesting. Khanada immediately became obsessed with Fortnite. He quickly realized he was leagues ahead of his IRL friends regarding his skill, so he began to stream on Twitch, and he uploaded his first YouTube video on May 22nd of 2018. He didn't receive much recognition, but this did not stop him. Khanada made his first earnings on March 31st of 2019 in the Lux Cup. At just 14 years old, he and his duo placed 8th on NA East, which earned them $700 each. Although it wasn't a ton of money, it was still great for just a 14-year-old at the time. With this great placement, Khanada was really confident going into the next major tournament. On February 22nd, 2019, Epic Games announced the Fortnite World Cup. It would be a giant in-person LAN in New York City with a $30 million prize pool. This motivated Khanada more than ever to become the best, but things did not go as planned. Khanada was not able to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup. However, he still earned $3,900, which for a 14-year-old at the time was still amazing. But Khanada would now have a chance to redeem himself with the announcement of the Fortnite Championship Series, better known as FNCS. In the first 4 qualifiers, he was able to earn $800, but this is when things took a turn because one of the largest gaming creators, Tfue, decided to play with Khanada for the final qualifier of Season X FNCS. Khanada, Tfue, and Fiber were able to win the last open qualifier, earning them $20,000 each. This secured their spot in heats where they easily qualified to grand finals. However, the trio would underperform, finishing at 22nd, earning them $2,000 each, which they weren't satisfied with. But this gained Khanada a ton of recognition from the Fortnite competitive scene, as he played with Tfue. Going into Chapter 2, Khanada decided to stick with Tfue and Fiber, picking up Cloaksy. They immediately began to dominate in tournaments, easily securing their spot in grand finals. While the qualifiers were going on, Khanada placed 3rd and won back-to-back solo cash cups, earning nearly 10 grand from 3 tournaments alone. This led to Khanada having an all-time high confidence going into the squad FNCS grand finals. The squad finished a respectable 7th place, earning $5,625 each. The next tournament would be Winter Royale, and it was duo, so Khanada would go on to duo with the one and only Clicks. They would go on to earn $2,950 on NA East in the Winter Royale. Khanada would then go on to compete in his first ever LAN hosted by DreamHack in Anaheim, California, which he placed 12th, earning $4,750. And on March 10, 2020, Khanada signed with one of the largest gaming organizations, TSM. Khanada was now gaining a salary at just the age of 15, which is quite impressive. But Khanada still wasn't happy due to his passion for wanting to be the best. Going into his first ever duo FNCS, Khanada decided to play with Joey 2C, who was fairly known at the time. Unfortunately, things didn't go so well. They were able to qualify for the grand finals, but they placed 27th. Next was the solo FNCS Invitational, which was the first ever major solo tournament since the World Cup. Leading up to it, he won 2 daily duo cups and won a contender cash cup, all with Unknown Army, who was known as one of the best during this time. Khanada's confidence was at an all-time high at this point. This was finally Khanada's chance to prove himself as one of the best in the region. And he did just that. With the 4th place finish, he secured himself $35,000. A few days later, he placed 3rd in a contender cash cup, earning $1,000. By this point, Khanada was easily one of the best in the game. Khanada continued to upload YouTube videos and stream consistently, all while placing very well. Chapter 2 Season 3 featured another solo FNCS, but he didn't do too well in grand finals, placing 96. But this made him grind harder going into the next season, which was announced as Trios. He teamed up with Bucky and Creo, who were known as one of the best during this time. After dominating the qualifiers and placing 2nd in their heat, they were ready for the grand finals. They placed 10th in grand finals, earning $2,600 each, but this wasn't the result they were looking for. They decided to split up, which is when Khanada decided to play with Macwood. They won back-to-back trio cash cups, but they did not have a set 3rd. Going into Frosty Frenzy, Khanada and Macwood decided to pick up Bucky as their 3rd. They made $2,400 in Frosty Frenzy, which showed they had potential to win an FNCS. Following the Frosty Frenzy, Khanada would no longer be a part of TSM as he joined Built by Gamers, which was known during this time. But things things didn't keep going as planned. Khanada had been banned on Twitch indefinitely without being given any reason, which hindered his growth. However, he still uploaded videos on YouTube and was more motivated than ever to compete. In Chapter 2 Season 5, Khanada placed 3rd with this trio, earning $23,000 each. They stuck together the next season, placing 7th, earning $13,000 each. While for most teams these would be great achievements, for Khanada it simply wasn't cutting it, so they split up. But just before the next season of FNCS, there was the Solo All-Star Showdown. Khanada wasn't going to let this tournament go to waste. He finished in 3rd place, adding another $45,000 to his earnings. By this point, Khanada had decided to trio with Stretch and Saf. They were seen as one of the favorites to win this FNCS, but fell just short, placing 4th, earning $20,000 each. After this, Khanada would play with Agers and D-Gen, placing 7th in the grand finals. He would then go on to stick with Agers, picking up one of his former teammates Saf, finishing at 8th, earning $10,000 in the FNCS Grand Royale. And in January 2022, Khanada was signed with Team Khanada, which had a ton of pro players at the time. But going into Chapter 3, the game mode would change to duos, and he teamed up with Acorn, who already had an FNCS win under his belt. It looked like it was time for Khanada to win an FNCS, but this wasn't the case. They finished in 6th place. Khanada would go on to play with Agers, getting back-to-back top 5s. However, these placements weren't good enough to qualify for the FNCS Invitational in Raleigh, North Carolina. Fortunately, Khanada was invited to compete as a backup player. He teamed up with Macwood, placing 21st. In Chapter 4 of Season 1, Khanada would continue to do with Agers, and he even signed with Team Dignitas, teaming up with some of the largest Fortnite professionals including Booga, Acorn, and Cooper. Khanada and Agers were able to qualify for grand finals easily, and they did not disappoint. They finished just short of winning, placing 2nd, earning $35,000 each, which is still a fantastic achievement, and they would go on to place 12th in the following grand finals. But this is when things get interesting. Khanada would finally be unbanned from Twitch after being banned for nearly 3 years. He would go on to stream every single tournament. This gave Khanada more motivation than ever to dominate this FNCS. Going into the FNCS qualifiers, Khanada and Agers would place 8th, 4th, and 1st, but this is not what mattered to them. Neither of them had won an FNCS, so they gave it their all going into the grand finals. They did exactly that. They won the grand finals, earning $75,000 each, all while streaming, and this is what Khanada had to say about it.
It's definitely the streamer buff. I definitely play way better on stream.
But anyways, this secured their ticket into the Global Championship in Denmark. But there was an issue. They landed at the same drop spot as one of Europe's best duos, Malibuka and Thomas HD. Neither of them were going to leave the drop spot as they were both landing there for the whole year. Khanada and Agers were still able to earn $15,000 each, placing 18th while being contested. Following the Global Championship, Khanada would go on to win DreamHack Atlanta with Cooper, earning $100,000 each. In Chapter 5 Season 1, Khanada and Agers would place at a disappointing 13th. Agers would go on to snake Khanada for Booga, but this would not stop Khanada. This led to Khanada picking up Cooper for Chapter 5 Season 2. They placed 3rd and 9th in the duo cash chips leading into this season's FNCS, so they were confident. They finished in 3rd place, earning $35,000 each. In Chapter 5 Season 3, Khanada and Cooper have qualified for the upper bracket and are looking very strong going into the grand finals. Khanada has even started expanding his content into vlogs. But anyways, thanks for watching and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next one.